What's up, Steven? Good to see you again.
Nice to see you. I'm going to start with congrats on season 3. I watched the whole thing. Thank you for making me laugh.
Oh, good. Yeah, what'd you think?
I'm going to give it a thumbs up, and I'm ready for
Good.
season 4. That's what I got.
Slow
And the
down.
interview is over. See you later. So I have to. I guess I'll start with the most important question first. Do you find that when Wrexham is doing better, Rob is in a better mood?
It definitely doesn't hurt. Uh, but yeah, he's got many interests, and Wrexham being one of them. But I never know how they're doing is the thing. I can't watch the game. So, but as long as the Wrexham show is doing well, then I mean that's better than anything.
When we spoke at Comic-Con, Megan mentioned that she knows the very end of the series, like what it's going to be. Has she told you what that is?
Uh, no, she hasn't. And did she tell you? If she told you, you can tell me.
No, it's funny. I would love to. I actually don't want to know what the end is because I'm a fan and I want to get there naturally. But I am curious who she's told.
Yeah, I think she's told her dog.
Right, exactly.
She really tells that dog everything, and maybe I'll ask the dog.
I am curious. What are you allowed, or what do you want to tell people about season 3 and the adventure that is coming?
Season 3 is louder, it's faster, it's funnier. No, season 3 is fun for us because I think will be fun for the audience because we have a completely new look to Mythic Quest. We have a whole new Ian and Poppy have broken off, and they have a whole new office and company that they're running. We get to see David, alone, and how he is thriving, running Mythic Quest on his own, with some new opportunities. We get to see Joe Manganiello interact with David's pursuing the star and trying to quote unquote bag a beefcake with Joe Manganiello for his Mythic Quest movie. And we just get to see there's more Carol, who's so funny, Naomi Peregrine, and more of our characters evolving and in new situations, which evolving their careers in different ways, including Brad being a janitor. So there's a lot of new looks, not just on the set, but with our characters that I think people will find exciting.
So you guys were picked up for season 3 and season 4 together, and I'm curious, what was that like, the behind the scenes and developing the arc, the storyline this season? How much are you thinking about, what are we going to do in both seasons, and how much is sort of like, let's just write 3, we get to the end, and then we'll worry about 4?
I think it's more the latter. I think you have to serve the story in the present. Everyone's always trying to live in the present, right? Well, it's the same thing, I think, with writing. You plan ahead as far as you can, but you know that you could end up throwing stuff out, because as you write and as you keep hacking your way through the season, things change. You start to take a different path than you thought you were going to take. And so there's only so much planning you can do. It's hard enough to plan 10 episodes. I think we have a few maybe tent poles along the way that we have ideas for, but I think with anything you have to know you might let those go because you'll hopefully find something even more interesting.
Pardon me for not knowing, but have you filmed season 4? Are you getting ready to film season 4? What's the status?
No, we have not even met for season 4 and started the room yet. We've got Always Sunny to do, and then we'll be back with season 4. And so there's a little bit of hang time between seasons.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I need that.
I know.
Quicker. I'm joking around, obviously,
Well,
but you guys,
tell Rob to have less shows.
Exactly. You directed episode 7, which is the first Christmas episode of Mythic Quest, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Can you sort of talk about, did you get to pick that episode, or was that the one that sort of fell in your lap?
No, I wanted to direct the season, and I picked the Christmas episode because it felt special to me. I worked a lot on the script and the story, and in particular, and I'm in a lot of it, which, even though it makes for a more challenging directing experience, I wanted to have more control over it, as well as it feeling special because it's a Christmas episode. Hopefully it's a bit more emotional, while still keeping, still having a lot of fun. It feels a little extra special. We have some extra special moments in there, and I wanted to have a little bit more involvement by directing it.
One of the things I found interesting about the Ian Poppy relationship this season is that Ian actually feels like he's grown since the first 2 seasons. Like, he's actually caring about what other people think. Well, Poppy. And can you sort of talk about, they've left Mythic Quest, but they haven't really left.
Well, you never really leave, right? In a sense. Well, they can't, you can take take the person out of Mythic Quest, but you can't take the Mythic Quest out of the person, I think, is what we'll find. I think Ian is constantly trying to evolve, because in a sense, just like the metaverse, he knows things are evolving, and but he also struggles with his own nature, which I think we all do as we try to grow as people. And so I think that's sort of the fun of his character and of the partnership. We really try to dive deep and take that a very minimal set that they have, which is sort of an embodiment of Ian's mind. It's his design, and put our 2 main characters in there and really see how they interact and how they struggle. And that was kind of a highlight for the season for us to try to keep diving deep. Even in our breakaway episode, we dive deep there.
Of the 3 seasons, which shot or sequence ended up being the toughest to pull off, and why?
Gosh, anything with a lot of extras. It's always tricky. We usually do these E3, like we had a episode in season 2 that we ended up cutting, but it built to us premiering at E3. And I was just thinking that we have all these, these episodes where you bring in a whole crowd, right? And you really, those become more of just from a production side, bigger. But what's funny now is that, I don't know the state of E3 at this moment, but we're, we looked at that that episode in season 3 and said, well, E3, that feels like gathering everyone in this room is not really what we're doing these days. So we ended up leaning away from that. So honestly, the pandemic in itself has been the most challenging way to where we adjusted. But from that, I think we ended up coming up with better material, and even specifically our quarantine episode. That was probably the biggest challenge that we then had to deal with.
I just want to thank you again for making a show that I really, really love, and have a fantastic day.
Oh, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.